Hey everybody, I'm Steve Jordans, Professor of Psychology at University of Toronto Scarborough. I'm offering a free online course about managing your anxiety during COVID. I'll tell you more about that at the end of this piece. But what I wanted to also do is do a couple of these little quick videos. I call them a Psychology Minute. I know that's optimistic, given I'm a prof and profs have trouble speaking for a minute, but I'm going to try to be quick and efficient. So let's jump right in here. Right now, a bunch of us are dealing with a bunch of anxiety. This is our body detecting danger and putting us in sort of fight or flee mode. It's giving us all this energy to do something, and it's kind of screaming at us, do something. And that's what a lot of us feel, and it's very frustrating because it's not clear how to flee from the virus, and it's not clear how to fight it. However, I want to convince you we are fighting it and we're doing a good job. But let me first tell you why that's so important. If this is what anxiety is, your body screaming, do something, then this is what depression is. Your body essentially telling you, don't bother doing anything because nothing that you do will make things better. So notice, anxiety is a very activating state. Depression is a passive deactivating state, and depression is much more dangerous than anxiety. And we want to be on the lookout for depression, and we want to guard against it. The biggest way of kind of not going there is through having a sense of control. If we actually feel like we have some control over the situation we're in, then we're less likely to slide into what's sometimes called learned helplessness or the depression side of things. So I want to convince you we have this control. We are exerting this control, and it's working. So just as a sort of context, I think of this virus like a monster. It's this monster in our community, and it's a monster that wants to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And it grows bigger and bigger and bigger by finding new hosts. It's like it's almost, using our body as a sort of food, as a fuel. And so if it can find fresh bodies, it can keep growing. And of course, as it's growing, we have our healthcare heroes. There's no other word for them. They are heroes. And they are the ones on the front lines fighting this virus as it continues to grow. What are the rest of us doing? We're staying home. And what I want to convince you, and if you think of it this way, staying home sounds like one thing, but if we really say, no, we are denying this virus hosts. We are getting our bodies out of the way of the virus. Therefore, it cannot inhabit our bodies, and that prevents it from growing. And that's a very powerful thing to do for those vulnerable in our neighborhood and for the medical community, at least if it actually works. And so I was very heartened, and I hope everybody else kind of thought of it this way when some of the recent stuff, at least happening in Ontario, I think also in New York, and I hope in the world more generally, what we are seeing is that we are beating model projections. So in Ontario, the models predicted that by April 7th, we would have 800 people in ICU units of hospitals. In fact, we had, by that date, 233. So 567 fewer than predicted. Why? Because we're staying home. Because the virus did not grow to the size it was projected to grow, because we denied it hosts, okay? It was us. Yes, our healthcare workers are taking it on, but we're reducing the challenge they're facing. We're making it something they can take on, and that's so very, very critical. Okay, and so, really what I want to say in this video, or what I want to get through to you, is that staying home can seem passive. It can kind of seem like we're hiding from something, but I think that's the wrong way to think about it. We're not hiding. We are doing the single best thing we can do to help defeat the virus, and it's working. We are not victims. We are warriors of a new form. We're fighting this thing, and we're beating it by denying it new hosts. And we should feel really good about that. Okay, so I, as a psychology professor, have been really impressed by the overall level of compliance. Yes, we have those people who are throwing their bodies in the way of the virus, and in doing so, endangering their families and their friends' families, and it's a little mind-boggling. But most of us are conforming And because of those of us that are, the virus is now something the healthcare community can tackle. And we all should feel really good about that. We are doing our part, and our part is working. Okay. Of course, we're still going to have anxiety to deal with until we've actually, gotten out from under this virus. I do have this free course available on Coursera. You can go to coursera.org and search Mind Control or my name. Again, no charge. And the idea is really just to give you a better sort of academic sense of where anxiety comes from, and then to give you some tips that will make sense in that context about how to manage your anxiety during this next period of time when we're all staying at home and living in the shadow of the virus while we're fighting it, while we're being warriors. Okay, that's my Psychology Minute. It's probably more like 4. Thank you very much. I will maybe see you on another one of these down the road. Bye-bye.